Good morning, students. So we had seen few problems on RSA. So in this lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to see some more problems. We'll solve some more problems based on RSA because this is an important topic from the exam point of view. First of all, kindly let me know if I'm audible so that I can start today's lecture. Kindly give me a feedback. Okay, okay, fine. A division, am I audible? Yes, come on, give me answers. B is fine. A division, am I audible? Fine, thank you. So let's get started with today's lecture. As we had started off problems on RSA, we had seen two problems. We had solved some problems. So what I want today is I will be solving one problem and two or three problems can be solved by you today only. So I will give you time, ample amount of time to solve those problems. We'll see what are the various sort of problems that are asked on RSA. And finally, if time permits, I will be starting with a new topic. Let's see how it goes. First of all, let me start with this problem, which you can see over here. We had seen this problem in the last lecture. If you remember, this is what we had seen in the last lecture. RSA revolves around complex mathematics, but we have seen that it can be done easily if our basics are clear. Yes, so we had seen that it consists of two prime numbers. In our example, we saw that there were two prime numbers P and Q. We first of all need to find the public key component, which is E. If in the exam E is not given, then we have to select the value of E such that it is relatively prime to phi of n. You remember we had seen this in the last week. So I'm just revising it with the help of this solved example we had seen in the last lecture. So what happens is what we need to do is we first of all need to uh, find out E, value of E, right? So what exactly is the value of E? E should be a value which is basically it should be relatively prime to phi of n. Am I clear? Kindly give me responses. Let me get your answers. Then I will move ahead. Yes or no? You know what exactly is phi of n? Am I clear? A division, B division, kindly give me your answers. Correct? It is Euler's torsion function, yes or no? Fine. So that is what we had seen. We first of all, if in the question, if P and Q are given, and if E is also given, then we straight away find out D. But in the exam, if E is not given, our very first criteria is we need to find the value of E. How to do so? It's very simple. As you can see, the very first thing that we need to calculate is calculate N. N is nothing but P into Q, which gives a value of 77 in this case. Similarly, the next thing which we need to calculate is phi of n. Now, phi of n is nothing but the quotient function. We have seen that, which is what we call as Euler's quotient function. It is nothing but p minus 1, q minus 1, that comes out to be 60. Fine. The next step is we need to calculate d. D can be found out with the help of this expression, d into e, the result of which is mod by phi of n, and that should be equivalent to 1. Again, similar to Fermat's theorem, similar to Chinese remainder theorem, we need to multiply d with 13, and whatever be the result of mod 60, that is nothing but your answer d. Fine. So for whichever value of d, you get the remainder as 1, that is your current value of d. Am I clear? Yes or no? Fine. We saw how to do this in the last lecture. Next up, we saw there is one formula, there is one technique, which is what we call as the extended Euclidean algorithm. We saw how to create this table. Any more confusions with this table so far? Any one of you wants to clarify any certain doubt you're having regarding this table? Kindly let me know. We'll solve problems based on this table today only. So don't worry, we'll just revise everything once again. So am I clear till now? Can we move ahead? Do let me know. Yes. Okay. What about B division? Okay, fine. So let's move ahead with this particular topic over here. We saw how to calculate encryption. We saw how to calculate decryption, right? So let me just focus on this once again. For encryption, the formula is like this. Whatever plain text is given in the example, for example, in this case, it was 17. So what we do is we take 17 raised to e mod n. Now 17 is nothing but your plain text. So plain text raised to e. E is what we had taken in the case. In this case, we already have the value of E as 13. So it will be 17 raised to 13 mod 77. Now we know if we want the value of 17 raised to 13, we simply need to do it like this. It is basically 17 raised to 8 plus 4 plus 1, isn't it? Yes or no? Any confusions with this? Kindly let me know. We can break up 13 into 8 plus 4 plus 1. Yes or no? So that is what is written over here. Fine. Next step is how to calculate these values. We already know how to do so. You can see in this particular example. First, we start with 17 raised to 1 mod 17, mod 77. It comes out to be 17. Next up, we similarly what we do is whatever answer we got in this step, that is over here, 17, we simply take a square of it and mod it by 77. So if I'm trying to find out 17 square mod 77, it is very simple. It is very easy to calculate. It becomes 58. You can do the calculation. I suppose now you know how to take a mod, right? Next up is 17 just to 4 mod 77. Now, instead of doing 17 into 17 into 17 into 17, it will be tedious task. What you can do is whatever result you got in the previous step, just square that and take a mod by 77. You will get the same result as this. Fine. So it is 53. Next up, last step is 17 raised to 8 mod 77. It is simply this answer you got over here, square mod 77, and you will get the answer as 37. Any confusions regarding this? If you're having any confusions with this, kindly let me know. Or if it is clear, we can move ahead. Fine. Very simple logic. You simply need to square the previous steps result and take a mod of it. You will get the answer. Yes, B division. Am I clear? Do let me know. Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. So let's move ahead. The decryption is exactly the opposite. What happens in decryption is we need to follow this particular formula. It is ciphertext raised to D. We already know what is the value of D. We have calculated it. We have calculated that it came out to be 37 over here, right? So apply that only. It becomes 73 raised to 37 mod 77. Now we know that in order to obtain 37th power, we simply need 32 plus 4 plus 1, right? So what happens is we simply need these powers. We have to obviously calculate for all the powers, but these are the powers which we actually need, right? So first of all, it will be 73 raised to 1 mod 77. Then square the result of it. You will get this as the result. Now, for 73 raised to 4 mod 77, it's very simple. Just square the result you got in the previous step and take a mod of it. So it becomes 16 square mod 77, that is 256 mod 77, and you will get the answer as 25. Next up, 73 is to 8 mod 77 is again simple. Just take the square of this term and mod it by 77. So it becomes 625 mod 77. You can just imagine 73 raised to 8. That is, you have to write 73 8 times and then take a mod of that value with 77. It's very tedious. It's very time consuming. So what happens is simply refer the result of the previous step, square it, and take the mod by 77. Isn't it fine? Isn't it simple? This is what you need to do for each and every problems of this type. Fine. So let's carry on with this, and at the end you will get the result for 73 raised to 32 mod 77. At some point of time, you will see that the numbers start repeating. As in this case, 73 raised to 32 mod 77 is also 16, whereas 73 square mod 77 was also 16. So at some point of time, the values start repeating. And once they start repeating, you will get the same result afterwards also. So this will be nothing but 16, 25, 9, 4, again 16, 25, 9, 4, and the values will start looping. So the problem gets reduced and you can solve it easily hereafter. Am I clear? Any confusions with this? A division, B division? Kindly let me know. Fine, so I'm just taking the same example once again just to clear because we are meeting after a gap of 2-3 days. Fine, so let's move ahead with the actual problem for today. I want you to start solving this problem. Three things are given. You are given the you are given the value P, Q, and M. Now, what is M? Yes, come on, give me your answers. Be interactive as much as possible. I don't like boring lectures. Just keep it alive. What could be the value of M? Plain text, yeah, fine. So M is nothing but the message or the plain text. Fine. So start applying the formula over here. Very first thing is try to find out value of N. N is nothing but according to our algorithm, it is P into Q. So now you only start filling up the blanks. Take some time, start solving it. P into Q is nothing but 3 into 11, so that becomes 33. Similarly, phi of n is P minus 1 into Q minus 1, so it simply means 2 into 10, that is 20. I have written a point over here, just pay attention to that point, to that step in red, this one. As you can see in this example, the value of E is not given, right? So what we can do? We have to find E, right? What is the condition for E? Again, try to recollect that. What is the condition for finding E? We have to find E such that it is relatively prime to phi of n. Fine. So which is the lowest number that we can take? Which is relatively prime to phi of n? You only tell me. I have kept it blank. Yeah. The lowest number which we can take is 3. But see that condition which I have written. Generally, we don't take E having the same value as either P or Q, even it is relatively prime to phi of n. Can anyone tell me why I wrote so? Fine. I'm getting answers from Jimit. Jimit is correct. But do any one of you uh, uh, have any idea why we are doing so? Why we are avoiding taking the same values again, even though it is not a factor of phi of n? Why? We can easily take E as 3. Yes or no? Yes, come on, give me answers. We can easily take E as 3 because we can't divide 20 by 3. Yes or no? Yes, right? But still we don't take it. Why? The reason is very simple. We try to avoid taking the same values as E just to avoid any random guessing, or we can say we just to avoid any repeated values. The main reason is that only. We try to avoid taking any repeated values because if one of the values are guessed, then it is very easy to guess the plain text also. Just to avoid any guessing attacks or any dictionary based brute force attacks, avoid taking the same value of P and Q as E. So what could be the next value? Can we take 4? No. Can we take 5? No, because 4 and 5 both divide 20. Can we take 6? No, because between 6 and 20 there is a factor of 2. GCD cannot be 1. So the next value is 7. Am I clear now? B division, are you finding it difficult? I'm not getting answers from you. So the next value which could be the value of E, which is basically having GCD of 1, is 7. Yes or no? Because there is no factor common between 20 and 7. So that GCD has to be 1. Yes? Fine. Got it? Can we move ahead? Okay, fine. So I will simply write the value of E as 7. I have all the notes ready with me. Just after the lecture, I will put the notes on Google Classroom and the video in either by today evening or by tomorrow. Fine. Next up, let's find the value of D. Now we know that as E is 7, what could be the value of D? The formula, as it says, we have to find D such that when we multiply D with E and take a mod of it by phi of n, we should get the result as 1. I have not written equal to, I have written, you can say congruent to. It can have different meanings, different signs. Why so? Because this particular expression can have different answers, yes or no. We have seen in the previous lectures also. If you are having any doubts, do get it clear straight away. I have not written equal to because equal to क्या करेगा उसमें possibilities को limit कर देगा. मैंने congruent to का साइन इसलिए डाला है because you can have multiple answers which satisfies the same equation or same condition. Yes or no? Are you clear with this? Yes or no? A division, B division, kindly give me your answers. Meaning समझा, difference समझा दोनों का, right? So that's why I have not opted for equal to. It can be a congruent sign. Whatever sign you use for congruency, you can use it over here. Fine. So let's see that expression को if we check properly, it is very clear that if I multiply 7 by 3, we'll get the answer easily. Yes or no? Because 7 threes are 21. 21 mod 20 is obviously going to be 1. Yes or no? It is very simple, straight away, straight cut math. But what happens is we can have multiple answers also. जरूरी नहीं है कि ओनली d का वैल्यू अगर 3 होगा तो तभी आंसर आएगा. It can be any different value which can satisfy this equation and we will still get the answer as 1. But the only catch is that value has to be less than 20. Why? Because we are taking a mod by 20. Am I clear? I'm again delving into the basics of maths. वापस थोड़ा basics जा रहा हूँ, modular theory, just to make it clear. I don't want to rush into things, right? So if you're done with this, if you're clear with this, let's move ahead. Kindly give me a nod if it's clear or not. Fine? Okay. So let's move ahead. So what could be the value of d? As it is very clear from this particular expression that if I take the value of d as 3, it becomes 7 into 3, that is 21. And if I take 21 mod 20, I will get the answer as 1. So in this case, calculating d is very simple. Yes or no? Yes, come on. Fine. But what about some problems where calculation of d is very difficult? In that case, obviously, we need the help of this table. But don't get confused. Even if you get the answers directly, you have to draw this table. It is compulsory. You will get marks based on it. You can't randomly put the value of d because we are not performing brute force in the exams, right? We need some thorough understanding. We need some thorough expression based on which we can calculate d. It is very similar to your maths. We get steps. We get marks for each and every step. It is similar to that. स्टेप्स जैसा होगा, स्टेप्स परफॉर्म करो, स्टेप्स के आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे. सिमिलर टू टीसीएस, whatever problems we are going to do over here, they will have steps for each and every, they will have marks for each and every steps. Fine. So again, do I need to solve this entire table again? Can you do it? Let's revise it once again. Fine. What is the first step? Our first step, as you can see, I have written them in white over here. These are constant values. These are not going to change. Yes or no? 1, 0, 0, 1. What about d? This d is nothing but the first value is phi of n. And this value is e. Am I clear? Can you recollect it? Any confusions with this? If yes, kindly let me know. It's very clear, very simple enough. Next up, this has to be blank according to the algorithm. Now what we need to do is, we can say that 7 into 2 is 14. So we can say 20 is nothing but 7 into 2 plus 6. Can we write it like this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very simple maths it is. 7 2s are 14 plus remainder is 6. Fine. So that is what we have done over here. If you can see it carefully, 7 into 2, that is this one, and this is nothing but the remainder that we have written in the next step, next row. Am I clear? Same thing we have to do over here. That is 7 2s are the quotient basically, and whatever is the remainder that we have to write in the next row. Fine. So we are done with this. Let's start populating this row. Now, when we start filling up this row, it is very simple. We had a formula, if you remember. Formula yaad hoga aap sabko. The formula was like this. A3 is equal to, what was the formula? Yes, come on, tell me. I'm waiting for your answers. What was A3? A3 was, come on, give me answers quickly. It was A1 minus A2 into K2. Yes or no? Fine. So that is what we are going to apply over here. Now, over here, we are trying to find out A3, correct? So A3 will be A1, that is 1, minus A2 into K2. So it is 0 into 2. So it has to be 1 every single time. Because if I'm multiplying any value with 0, it has to be the same value only. So you can say that the first three values of column 1 has to be same, right? So it comes out to be 1. Similarly, what about this minus 2? Minus 2 kaise aaya? Again, apply the same formula. This time it will be B1 minus B2 K2. What is B1? B1 is 0. What is B2? B2 is 1. What is K2? K2 is 2. So it becomes 0 minus 2, that is minus 2. Am I clear? Simple enough. Fine. Using this formula, keep on solving this until we get 1 in D's column. जहां पे डी की कॉलम में 1 आ जाएगा उसका करस्पॉन्डिंग जो बी वैल्यू होगा दैट इज माय न्यू डी. एम आई क्लियर? डू आई नीड टू रिपीट इट अगेन? At the instant whenever we get 1 in D's column, the corresponding value of B will be the decryption key D. B division, is it clear? Kindly let me know. Fine. So let me quickly wind up this problem. Now we can say that 1 completely divides 6. I guess there is some mistake. Just check it once again. Kindly let me know if there is any mistake or if it's fine. No, it's fine. In fact, it's fine. 6 into 1. 6 ones are 6 and the remainder is 1. Yeah, it's fine. 6 ones are 6 and there is a remainder of 1. Similarly, this 1 completely divides this 6. So 1 6 are 6 and we don't need to move any further. Fine? Am I clear now? Do let me know. A division, is it clear? Fine? Okay, thank you so much. So let's move ahead. We still need to encrypt the messages. We have seen what is the value of D, what is the value of E. Now let's start encrypting the plain text. Now this is our encryption formula. We know that encryption is plain text raised to E mod n. We know all the values now, so it becomes 12 raised to 7 mod n. That is mod 33. Now what is 12 raised to 7? As you can see over here, we can say that 12 raised to 7 is nothing but 12 raised to 1 plus 2 plus 4. Correct? So we need to find out these values anyhow. So first of all, we'll start with 12 raised to 1 mod 33. It came out to be 12. It is the simplest of operations because if you see carefully over here, all the operations are giving me answer as 12 only. It is not going to be that lucky every single time. You're not going to be that lucky. But in this case, you are getting answers as 12 only. How? Because if you see 12 mod 33, kitna hoga? 12 ही होगा. If we say 12 square mod 33, it will be 144 mod 33. You compare it, if you solve it, you will get the answer as 12. How come? Because it comes out to be 132, I guess. 33 fours are, I guess, 132, if I'm not wrong. So that comes out to be 132 and you get a remainder as 12. Similarly, if we go for 12 raised to 4 mod 33, again, once you get the answer as 12, इसका square करोगे तो वही answer आने वाला है, yes or no? Kindly let me know the answers. B division. Because once you get 12 again, even 4 बार करो, 10 बार करो, 5 बार करो, answer 12 ही होने वाला है. Yes or no? Because you got the answer as 12. 12 का square करोगे वही रहेगा. 12 का 4 times करोगे वही रहेगा. Correct? So that is what you're going to get the answer as. Fine. So we know that 12 raised to 7 will be nothing but 12 raised to 1 plus 2 plus 4 mod 33 because base is same, so we can add up the powers, or in simple terms we can say that if we multiply the result of these and take the mod by 33, we'll get the answer. Again, 12 into 12 into 12 mod 33 will be nothing but 12 only. If you calculate it, you will get the answer as 12 only. यही पे देख लो. If we multiply the result of these, it will be 12 into 12. What it is? It is 144. Again, we know that 144 mod 33 will be 12. इसको अगर मैं वापस से 12 से मल्टीप्लाई किया, you will get the same result as 12 only. Fine, am I clear? I hope I'm not confusing you. Okay. Can we move ahead with the decryption part? So now we know that I will give the notes of these, so don't worry. This is just for classwork. Fine. So the decryption part is like whatever result you get after the decryption that should match with your plain text. By chance, if your answer is not matching with your plain text, it simply means you have done some mistake. Kindly check your answers. Fine. So in this case, as you can see, decryption is basically ciphertext raised to D mod 11. Your ciphertext came out to be 12. So it is nothing but 12 raised to D. And we now know what is the value of D. So it is 12 raised to 3 mod 33. And after doing all those operations, you will get the answer as 12. So if you remember, our plain text was 12 only, right? Over here. So you got back the same plain text. It simply means that your entire encryption and decryption process was correct without any flaw. Am I clear? If you want, you can just write down these steps in 2 minutes. I will just keep the screen active for 2 minutes and then we can move on to the next problem. And in case if you face any issues, any confusion, do let me know. Fine. Kindly note it down in the 2 minutes. I will then jump to the next page. Okay, can we move ahead? Kindly acknowledge. Okay, fine. So let's take the next problem. Today we are going to solve problems. Take this problem. In this case, we are given plain text as the PQ values as 7 and 11. E is given as 17 and M is given as 25. Now you need to solve it accordingly. How to do it? Again, it's very simple. I have kept this as a solved problem. Next step, in the next problem will be an unsolved one. So just have a look over here and try to solve it. What is the very first thing that you need to do? N is equal to 7 into 11. That is the very first thing. You need to multiply P and Q and you will get the answer as 77. Next step, phi of n is nothing but P minus 1 into Q minus 1 and you will get the answer as 60. 6 into 10. In the question, it is given that E is equal to 17. Now you only tell me which value you could have taken instead of 17. कौन सा वैल्यू आप ले सकते थे 17 की जगह पे? You only tell me. Can we take 1? Sorry, can we take 2? No. Can we take 3? Now I need answers. I hope you are now in a position to answer me. Yes, we can't take 3. What could be the next value? Can we take 4? No. Can we take 5? No. 6 is obviously not in contention. Can we take 7? We can take 7, but again 7 is P, so we can't take it. We can't take 8 because 2 divides both 60 and 8. Can we take 9? No, because 3 divides them. Same logic, we can't take 10. Can we take 11? Yes, we can take 11, but it is Q, so we can't take it. Swardha, I hope I solved your answer. I solved your query. Can we take 12? Obviously not. 12 fives are 60, I guess. Yeah. So can we take 13? Check it and let me know. Yes, we can take 13. Because 60 is not divisible by 13 and the GCD between 13 and 60 is going to be 1. There are no common factors. Fine. So we could have taken E as 13, but in this problem, they have mentioned E as 17, so we have to solve it using that only. 17 is also viable, right? Because I guess there is no factor between these. These are prime numbers. 17 is a prime number, right? So there is no factor possible over here. Correct? Generally, these are prime numbers only. Okay, so we're considering E as 17, let's start our problem. I have solved this, but I will go step by step. The very first thing over here is nothing but phi of n. So phi of n is 60. This value is nothing but your E value. So I'm writing it over here. This is phi n. This is E. What about this? The first value remains same. Again, with the similar logic, we can say that 17 into 3 plus 9 is equal to 60. Just check. It comes out to be 51 plus 9 is equal to 60. So what I wrote, the quotient over here and the remainder over here. Is it clear? Yes or no? Simple enough. Same logic है हर एक problem में. Just be careful with the calculations. Don't make silly mistakes during solving those problems, otherwise you will end up getting less marks. Fine. So we can say 17 into 3 is the closest which we can get to 60 without going ahead of 60. Right? So 17 threes are, we can say, nearest possible value to 60, and whatever is the remainder, that is 9, we have to write it over there. Fine. What next? Next step is, again, we saw in the last step also, last problem also, these 5 values are going to be constant. We can't change them. Next up, what is this minus 3? Minus 3 is again very simple. Minus 3 is basically B3. So B3 is equal to B1 minus B2K2 according to our formula. What is B1? B1 is 2. Sorry, B1 is 0. B1 is 0, 0 minus B2K2. 2 into 1 into 3. Making mistakes. What this will be? This will be minus 3. Is it clear now? Fine. So with the similar logic, we get this as minus 3. Now, we can say that 9 ones are 9, 9 twos are 18. So we will go past 17. Yes or no? So what we will do? It will be 9 into 1. And whatever is the remainder, we write it down below. Is it fine? Kindly let me know if my pace is fine. Okay, correct. Then what we can do is, again repeat the same process. Now we need to find B4. Now B4 is equal to B2 minus B3K3. What is B2? B2 is 0. It will be 0 minus B3, that is 1, into K2, K3, that is 1. So it is minus 1. That is what is written over here. And with the similar logic, sorry, this was A. I have written B over here by mistake. It is going to be A. That is A4 is equal to A2 minus A3 K3. K3, just for reference. Fine. With the similar logic, we will find out for B4. What it will be? It will be nothing but 1 minus of minus 3 into 1. It simply turns out to be 1 plus 3, that is 4. Fine. Now what we will do, we know that 8 can come only once. So it is 8 ones are 8 and the remainder will be 1. So we got this value over here. So we have to stop at row number 5. So kindly complete this row. That is over here, A5 will be 1 minus minus 1 into 1. So it turns out to be 1 plus 1, that is 2. Similarly, B5 will be minus 3 minus 4 into 1. It turns out to be minus 7. Am I clear? And obviously, this K5 value will be nothing but, you can say that 1 can completely divide 8, obviously. So it is 1 8s are 8, and we will stop over here. So can any one of you tell me, is it correct? Is our answer correct so far? Or can we do some modifications to it? Very simple logic we have already seen in the past problems also. What needs to be done to do some corrections? What is the correction that is needed from our end? Correct. We need to add, yeah, obviously we can't take mod of a negative number path. So what is the remedy for that? Yes, Harsh, correct answer. We have to add phi of n. Yes, B division, Isha, Swardha, Rishikesh. I'm not getting answers. What about others? Why are you not replying? Yash. So kindly let me know if you get the answer or not. Fine. So it will be, how much will be the value, final value of D? It is minus 7 plus 5. That is minus 7 plus 60, and you will get the answer as 53. Correct? So kindly keep this in mind. You can't take negative of any number's mod. Negative number का mod नहीं ले सकते. So we need to make it positive by adding phi of n. Correct? We will get the encryption. Sorry, you will get the decryption key D as 53. Fine. So what next? Next, you need to encrypt and decrypt. Let me just rearrange it. Yeah. So the encryption is again very simple. It is plain text raised to E mod n. Plain text given in the problem is 25, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, m is 25. So it is plain text raised to E mod n. So it simply turns out to be 25 raised to E was 17 mod 77. And you will get the answer as 25 raised to 1 plus 16 mod 77. You will get the answer as this. Now you have to start solving it. Now you know that 25 raised to 17 is simply broken down into 1 plus 16. So you need to solve it till the 16th power. Because it's very simple. If we again go beyond this, it will be 25 raised to 32. Do we require it? No, we don't need it. Because the maximum that is required from us is 17th power of 25. So we will stop over here, right? So we'll consider the very first value and this particular value, and we'll get the answer. What is 25 mod 77? It is nothing but 25 raised to 1 mod 77 is 25 only, because this number is less than this number, so we can't take a remainder of it. Fine, we can't take divide 25 by 77. So we, sorry, 20, 25. 25. Fine. So as we can't take the remainder of this particular step, so it has to be the number itself, that is 25. So now let's proceed ahead. So what is 25 square mod 77? It's very simple. Whatever answer you got in the previous step, take a square of it. So it becomes 625. So 625 mod 77, if you calculate that, it comes out to be 9. I hope you now have the understanding of how to calculate this value. Yes or no? What we can do? 625, right? So we have to take 625, divide it by 77. जो भी value आएगा, remainder आएगा. Suppose something something dot something, x dot y. So multiply x with 77, and दोनों का जो result होगा उसको subtract करेंगे तो you will get the mod. I hope you know how to do mod. Even in your calculators you can perform mod operations, yes or no? But the only catch is, for large numbers you can't use your calculators. We have already seen it previously, right? So it comes out to be 9. Fine. So 25 square mod 77 comes out to be 9. So now you can just have a look that instead of some huge numbers, the result is a very small number. That is a single digit number, 9. So now you can square it up. So if we want 25 raised to 4 mod 77, we simply can square the result of the previous step. That is 9. So it becomes 81 mod 77, and that is very simple. It comes out to be 4. Now the operation is getting simplified. Yes or no? Next step is 25 raised to 8. Just make sure that the powers over here gets doubled up at each step. 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. Powers of 2. So again, 25 raised to 8 mod 77 will be result of this step. Uska square mod 77. Now 4 ka square kitna hai? 16. 16 mod 77 is not possible. So it will be the value only, that is 16. Next up, the last value which we want is 25 raised to 16 mod 77. And it comes out to be again the same value. If you remember, 25 raised to 16 is nothing but 16 square mod 77, and it comes out to be 25. So again the vicious cycle comes to an end. You can see that we started off with 25 and again we reached here at 25. So whatever values we get after this, these are going to be repeated again and again in a loop. So this is what we call as a vicious cycle. Yes or no? So again you can see the final value which we want is 25 raised to 1 plus 16. So it's very simple. Whatever was the value of 25 raised to 1 mod 77, multiply that with 25 raised to 16, take a mod of it by 77, and you will get the answer as 9. Am I clear? Kindly let me know if you got the understanding of this problem. Yes, fine. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I have actually written all the answers, so let me just erase those answers and then we'll get back for the unsolved problem. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I will be back. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, fine. Thank you. So let's get back. So this was the problem we have seen just now. Let's get back to the decryption part. Obviously, the question is not complete yet. So for the decryption part, what we need to do is simply apply the same technique. Yeah, for the plain text, we need to sum up 32. Yeah, very good answer. We need 32. So basically, it is 53, 9 raised to 53. So we can add 1, 4, 16, and 32 powers, right? I hope this is making sense. You can see I have marked all those powers that we need to add up. So it can be 32, 16, 4, and 1. So basically, all these are powers of 2, we can say, right? At the end, we get the answer as this. So just have a look. You should get the answer back, the plain text back as 25 if you have not made any mistakes. In case you make any mistakes, you will get a verification call over here, basically that you have made any mistake or not. So in this case, we got the same answer. Just check the steps. Plain text is equal to ciphertext raised to d mod n. It simply becomes 9 raised to 53 mod 77. We have got all the values so far. So we need to carry out the steps again. On the left hand side, you can see I have written the powers directly. So 9 mod 77 is 9. 9 square mod 77 is nothing but 81 mod 77. I hope you know how to find it. Now it comes out to be 4. Then 9 raised to 4 mod 77 is nothing but 4 square mod 77, that is 16 mod 77, and it comes out to be 16 only. Similarly, 9 raised to 8 mod 77 came out to be 25, and again the vicious cycle keeps on rotating over here. Fine. So once you solve this, you should get the answer as 25. Am I clear? Now आप लोग मुझे बोलो if this particular topic is clear or not. Based on your feedback, I can move ahead with the next topic. Fine, I will give you one practice question just for improving your understanding. You can move ahead after that. So in the next lecture, we will be starting off with a new topic. So just finish this particular topic of RSA by solving this problem I'm giving to you. Okay. So this is your problem. You can take it as a practice problem and let's start solving it. Parth, kindly check your answer. It cannot be different. What is 9 square? 9 square is 81, na? It is 37. I guess you have taken 33. But it is 70 some mod. How can you take mod by 33? Am I clear? Yeah, the mod value doesn't change, na? It's phi of n. I guess mistake here, correct. And so just check this problem. What values are given? Just make a note of it. You are given parameters P, Q. First of all, find the value of E, find the value of D, and start solving it. So what could be the value of E? Start filling up the table. Start filling up the values. First of all, 3 into 19, you only tell me the answers. I will fill it one by one. What could be the value of N? What is N? 3 into 19. 57 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 57. What is phi of N? 2 into 18. 36. Now find out the value of E. What could be the value of E? We can't take 2, we can't take 3, we can't take 4, but can we take 5? Yes or no? Can we take 5? Yes, because 5 is the lowest possible number and it is neither equal to P nor equal to Q. So we can take E as 5 and it is also not a factor of 36. Right. So once we get the value of E, it becomes easy for us to find the value of D. As you can see, the table is very short. You will get the answers in 1 or 2 steps. So first of all, put the value 36 over here. Put the value 5 over here. Now we know that 5 sevens are 35 and the remainder is 1. Isn't it simple to calculate D? Don't need to apply brute forcing. You don't need to keep on guessing. You don't need to start from 1 and go till the last value of D. You will get the answer immediately using this table. Yes. Next up, solve it. What will be this value? What is the value of B3? You only tell me. B3 will be B1 minus B2K2. 1 into 7 minus 7, right? It is minus 7. And what is this? This is 1, 5s are 5. So again, we are getting a value of D as negative. What we need to do? We simply need to apply phi of n to it to make it positive. So it becomes minus 7 plus 36, that is 29. Clear now? So your D value is 29. If you want, kindly take a screenshot or just quickly write this answer, just 2 minutes, and then we can move ahead. Those who want to note it down, those who are maintaining their separate notes, it will be easy for them to recollect these topics later on. So if you want, you can note it down, just 2 minutes. Fine. Can we move ahead? In the meantime, those who have started solving it, try to solve it, and we can verify our answers later on. Right? So next up, encryption part. Now we know what is D. So you only tell me over here what could be these values. It is 6 raised to 5 mod 57. Why 6? Because in the question, the plain text M was given as 6. So it is 6 raised to E is 5 mod 57, and you will get the answer as this, whatever be the answer. Now you only tell me. This is what we need to find out, right? Finally, this is what we need to find out. How to break that up? It will be powers 1 plus 4. So first of all, we know that 6 raised to 1 mod 57 is going to be 6 only. That's why I have not written 6 raised to 1 mod 57 separately. Next step is 6 square mod 57. Now I have written the answers because this is very easy to calculate. 6 square mod 57 is 36 mod 57. It comes out to be 36. Next up, 6 raised to 4 mod 57 is nothing but 36 square mod 57, and you get the answer as 42. Can we stop over here? Yes, I guess, because we got the value of 6 raised to 4. And we know that 6 raised to 5 can be written as this, 6 raised to 1 dot 6 raised to 4. That comes out to be this. Kindly calculate this and let me know what is the answer. So basically, we will be multiplying 6 into 42 and take a result of that by 57. Obviously, you can see on the right hand side, the answer has to be equal to 24. Yes or no? Just common sense. Correct. It has to be 24 because on the right hand side, I have taken the ciphertext as 24. You can verify our answers. It really comes out to be 24 only because we have not made any mistake in it. Fine. So with the similar logic, decryption begins with 24 as the input. So it becomes 24 raised to 29. How come 29? We just now saw minus 7 plus the phi of n gave us the answer as 29, right? So apply that over here. It simply becomes 24 raised to 29 mod 57. You will get the answer as we have to first of all break up 29 into powers of 2. So basically 2 raised to 0 is 1. So it's basically 24 raised to 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16. If you add them up, it comes out to be 29. 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 16 is 29. Is it clear? Fine. So we need these powers. That is 24 raised to 1. But we know that 24 raised to 1 is nothing but 24 mod 57, and that is nothing but 24 only. So there is no need to write that again. 24 square mod 57 comes out to be some value. What is that value? Let me know. One quickly solve this and let me know the answers. This is the least I want from you people. Just solve it and give me the answers. Come on quickly. 24 square mod 57. Okay. I don't have the value with me right now because I've deleted that. So I just hope that you are correct. We will verify that. Obviously, I have already prepared the notes. We can verify later on. Okay, so we are getting 6 according to you people. Okay. So 24 is to 2 mod 57 comes out to be 6 according to you. Next up, 24 is to 4 mod 57 is nothing but 6 square mod 57. I guess that comes out to be 36. Yes or no? If we assume it to be 6, the next step has to be 36. What is the next one? 24 is to 8 mod 57. Now you have to square 36 and take the mod by 57. Now tell me your answer. 42. Okay, so Adhay is saying 42. Dhruv is saying 54. So which is correct? 42. Okay, majority is with 42. Dhruv, kindly check whether you have done any mistake or not. Anyways, I have written it below, so it has to be 42 only. Next one is 54. So I forgot to delete that. Correct? I hope now it is clear. Just keep on practicing these problems. I will give you more such problems in your Google Classroom as an assignment, or just for practice, I will give it to you. Just keep on solving those and you will get the answer. So once you do this, you know that 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16. So we need powers. That is 24 we need this power, we need this power, and we need this power. And if we multiply all those four values and take a mod of that by 57, you should get answer as 6. You should get back the plain text. Am I clear? Is it fine? I hope you got the understanding of this particular topic, that is problems on RSA. Fine. I'm not going to start the next topic today because again it's based on some different concept. I need to first of all start with the concept and then we will be able to solve it. So we are on track. I guess today is 19th lecture, lecture number 19. We need 2 to 3 more lectures to solve to complete our second module. According to our syllabus, we are on track. We'll complete it on time. Fine. So let me give you the attendance link and then we can close this session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now itself, or you can use the feedback section in your Google form.